So like I say, 1% of our Californian sea lions. She is 5 years old and she's going to do a magnificent 3-metre dive into our active oceans pool. A big round of applause for Lolita. So Shona has just brought out Gina as well. So Gina is our oldest Californian sea lion here at Blackpool Zoo. She is 20 years old, so our age range is from 4, who's Luna, our youngest, all the way up to 20, as Gina is our oldest. So I want everyone to give them a big wave hello as they're making their ways onto the podium in front of you here. Now, there is a really common mistake. It's a really common mistake here at Blackpool Zoo, and that is people not understanding the differences between the seals and the sea lions. So hopefully with the help of our Californian sea lions here, we're going to show you some of the differences. So the first difference is that little bit of a flap of skin on the side of their head, you can see there. So this represents their ear, it's almost like their earlobe, whereas if this was a seal, it would just be a hole covered by a bunch of fur. The seals have got much thicker fur because they come from a much colder climate than our Californian sea lions that come from that west coast of America. Now, the second difference is that the girls are going to show off is those magnificent front flippers. So if you can have a look here, they're front flippers. They're about the size of our forearms all the way to the tips of our hands. Whereas if this was a seal's front flipper is only about the size of our hand, and it's got 5 claws on the end, and this is to help them keep traction on the ice as well, because like I say, they come from them colder climates. Now, Lolita is going to demonstrate our third and final difference here, and that is how our Californian sea lions move. So you can see she can run, she can jump, she can climb, she can go over those rocks there, she can hold her whole self she can hold her whole body above the beach there. If everyone over the far side could just try and find a seat for us, we don't want to block that exit, if that's alright. Everyone over the far side there, just go and jump down and find a seat, thank you. Yeah, so Gina is now going to demonstrate how a seal would move. So if you have a look here, remember what I said about their small front flippers? They've just got to push themselves along the beach. They're just using their back flippers because they're too fat and their front flippers are too small to hold themselves up off the beach there. Fantastic. Big round of applause for Gina and her seal impression there. Not very humble is our Californian sea lions. So, here at Blackpool Zoo, something that is extremely important with all of our animals is training. So it's not only physical stimulation, but it's mental stimulation for our Californian sea lions as well. So Lolita is only 5, so you can see that she is still in the process of doing some training. But there we go. So you can see we have our training rod. It's red on one side, black on the other. And even though all of our Californian sea lions are colourblind, they can tell the differences between the shades of red and black. And they'll do anything to put their nose on the end of this training rod. Now this is because of positive reinforcement training. So you can hear that whistle called the bridge, and every single time that our Californian sea lions do a behaviour that Shona wants, like putting their nose on the end of our training rod, she will blow that whistle. And when she blows that whistle, the Californian sea lions know that they've done the right behaviour, and they know this because she rewards them with a treat. So this is positive reinforcement, where we can do our training by rewarding all the good behaviours that Shona's asked our Californian sea lions to do. And now this is really important because we can move them around in the off-show areas, but it's also really important because we do daily health checks on our Californian sea lions. So Shona is going to demonstrate with just a few hand motions now these different health checks. So the first one is a dental check. So we can see Gina's teeth here. You might be able to see, but they're actually jet black in colour. And this is due to all the different fish that they eat and all the different oils and omegas that come off these fish. They do actually start off as white, but it's actually really healthy if they are jet black. The second health check is something that we've already touched on. and that is their front flippers. So Gina's going to get up her front flipper here to show Sona, and this is because we have a look at their front flippers because it's the thinnest part of their skin. So this is where we would take any blood, do any medications, or do any injections as well. As you can see, Shola's inspecting Lolita's front flipper there. And then finally, like I say, Lolita is only 5 years old, so she is training at the moment with Shona, but they're doing a fantastic job together. So as all 7 sea lions are in the pool a little bit later, you can see how much fun they like to have. But this does mean that they are susceptible to a few lumps, bumps and scratches and whatnot. So Shona's just doing a full body check now to make sure that Gina is alright on her back. And she can even ask Gina to roll over and check out her tummy there. And this is how we would check for any pregnancies. None of our girls are going to be pregnant at the moment because we have got 7 females. But in the past, Blackpool Zoo has had one of the most successful breeding programmes where we've had about 40 pups in 50 years, so it's been extremely successful. Now, out on the west coast of America, our girls are fantastic predators. And we can demonstrate this using props, which is the hoops. So they've got fantastic eyesight, and they can judge the speed and distance at which these hoops are moving, which is how they judge the speed and distance of their prey. Big round of applause there for Lolita catching all those hoops. She can see how agile that neck is, and she can judge the speed and distance, like I say. This is how she go about catching those fish out there in the wild. But you might be thinking, why does she need to catch fish on their platform? So Shona's going to send Lolita into the water, where you can see she's going to push herself. Maybe not that time, shall we see? There we go, push herself out of the water. Like I say, extremely playful is our Lolita. We're going to push her a little bit, she's got to go a bit further away, but she wants it a bit easy. She'll spin out up from the pool, but that's good enough anyway. Big round of applause for Lolita, she's doing a fantastic job. She hasn't done many of these demonstrations here at Blackpool Zoo. Now, you might be wondering what happens if the ocean in the wild isn't as clear as our active oceans pool here at Blackpool Zoo. Now this is where the girls have got a fantastic ability, which is their whiskers. So if you have a look, Gina's whiskers here are going to curl up against that ball, and they're almost like their fingertips where they can feel around and they can feel for any movement or any vibration with those whiskers, and this gives them the ability to balance this ball on top of their nose. It's fantastic. So you might be wondering again, why would they need to do this out on land? Because it is in the water that they feel those vibrations with their whiskers. So this is how they would pick up any movement from any of their prey or any of their predators as well. You can see Gina's doing a fantastic job by bringing it all the way back up to the platform. Big round of applause everyone for Gina bringing the ball, and she's still balancing it there. She's doing a fantastic job. Now, even with all these fantastic skills, they're not actually the top of the food chain. Out on that Californian coast, there is something that comes after our Californian sea lions. So hopefully Lolita is going to, both of them are going to demonstrate. Both of them are going to come back up now. There we go, Lolita is going to demonstrate what animal this may be. Now there's plenty of us in today, so I want you to make loads of noise. What animal do you think it is that Lolita is trying to demonstrate there? On the count of 3, everyone, I want you to shout as loud as possible. 1, 2, 3. That was rubbish, everyone. That was rubbish. Shona, did you hear that? No. Rubbish. It's got to be louder than that, everyone. I want everyone in the park to hear you. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Shark! Much better, yes. We've got tiger sharks, bull sharks, great white sharks, and even killer whales that go after our Californian sea lions out there on the west coast of America. Now, sadly for them, this isn't the biggest killer for them. It's actually plastic pollution. So So Shona is going to go and do something that we don't want anybody to do here at Blackpool Zoo, and that's throw her plastic out into the ocean. So by 2050, some scientists think that there's going to be more pieces of plastic out there in the ocean than fish. And this is going to be a huge problem for our marine life out there in the wild. So there we can see Shona doing what exactly we don't want people to do, and Lolita is going to pour the plastic in the recycling bin there. Big round of applause for Lolita. She's an eco-warrior. We've got around 100 bins around Blackpool Zoo, so if you just make sure that all your litter goes into those bins, that would be much appreciated. And then finally, we're going to leave you with one last... Oh, Shona is really bad at throwing, everyone. That was Shona's throw, not Lolita's. But the girls are going to leave you with one final demonstration of how magnificent they are, and that is a front flipper stand. You can see how powerful those magnificent front flippers are. So a big wave goodbye to both of our sea lions. Big wave goodbye to our sea lion trainer Shona as well. I'd just like to say a massive thank you for watching our second sea lion demonstration of the day, everyone. So again, if you do have any pennies to spare, I'd really appreciate it if you came and put them into my blue spinner bucket here. But thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.